Polish direction when literally kamikaze drones of the enemy are hunting you in motion. We find this out with the help of drone detectors. In fact, the enemy is gradually pulling in forces to try to cut off our logistics, including with these means of small aviation. And on our side, roughly the same thing is happening, only we have large aviation. I believe you. Among the reserves that have arrived and are now being deployed in the Kursk direction, there is also the Volunteer Corps, the Russian Volunteer Corps. And already, in this direction, the Inter-Brigade Red Nashka and the Battalion Shir, Sarma, Chikibara are operating. The guys have already taken positions and have combat contact with the enemy.
So, how's the situation, tell me?
You could say it's a bit tense because the enemy is moving a little. We have now taken the positions that were assigned to us. Therefore, they won't move any further. We will stop them in any case. But the enemy is getting exhausted. I think they have already retreated again, far into the depths. So now they have neither provisions nor ammunition. It's all on delivery. So now, in the near future, I think we will push them back. We'll push them all back.
Fahar, you know what I wanted to ask? In 2014 there, all of us together in Donetsk, right? This volunteer movement, could you have imagined then that your volunteer unit would be fighting on the territory of the Russian Federation, old Russia? How did you choose this now?
I couldn't imagine anything like that, because to imagine means to fantasize about our business. If it happened this way, so be it. We will defend our fatherland all day. Not only in Kursk, but in Donetsk. If needed, in Lviv or somewhere else. It doesn't matter. Because they are our historical lands, for which we will stand and fight. The enemy is 4 kilometers away. But that's on one side. On the other hand, it might be a bit more here. That's why we are probing him now. That's why we are watching. He doesn't just sit in one place. He's nomadic.
Can you explain what nomadic means?
So is it a small mobile device? He bites here, then goes further, makes a loop of 15-20 kilometers, bites there. And it seems to everyone that there are many of them. They mostly move in small groups, right? Well, usually almost 20-30, but they are just spread out.
Your unit is called Shtir. What does that mean?
It's a translation from Azerbaijani to Turkish for years.
And who is in this unit?
In my unit, brother, there are Turks and Azerbaijanis. Let's say there are many nationalities. Just a Russian, an ordinary person can only join my unit. I am not against anyone. And Turks, actual citizens of Turkey as well. Of course.
I am like a communications officer. The task now is primarily in the communications chamber. We encountered a new situation for us. The terrain. It's too rugged. Ravines, lowlands, heights. Not like on our land. We still provided communication. It's a small stuff for us, but we have already overcome this issue. There is communication at the main points. If there is communication, victory will be soon. For me, as a communications officer, we often set up in such positions where a lot of work is done by the UAV. A drone detector and a 12-gauge 7-shot solve these issues.
Did you sit down to solve it?
Not here yet. There, in Donbass, we had to.
Interestingly, some big one, advancement by large forces from the armed forces of Ukraine. They tactical approaches, the so-called key actions, meaning small maneuverable groups. They try to run in, jump into some settlements, establish a foothold, and wait for the main forces. If they can't establish a foothold and face resistance, they immediately pull back.
Well, it's clear that aviation and artillery are working. They're targeting the supply lines to disrupt logistics. Exactly, we're cutting them off completely, cutting them off. Because they've scattered in small groups through the forest. I think we'll clear out these diversionary groups now, and that's it.
Where is the enemy? Today we already inflicted fire damage, discovered them here by chance. They move around, of course, as if they are at home, but now I think they'll be more cautious because they probably didn't expect the executioners to get so close. They're working somewhere. There. You took advantage of it, of course. Immediately there are drops. This drop today showed. Walking calmly under the open sky, yes. And where they walked more, I haven't seen yet. There was one group, accordingly. We worked on it and are looking further since I am originally from here. Born and raised in the oil region. A Muslim myself.
Uninvited guests came to my home. I stood almost in the middle, just amazing. You, judging by the flag by nationality, are Azerbaijani.
Yes, I am a national captain. And you have an Armenian battalion in the 15th.
Brothers, here we are doing one thing at the moment.
We are doing one thing.
Right now I am here. This is my home as of today. Therefore, Russia, these Russian smiles, they are going to endure the courts. These nationalistic things.
We try to work without losses. We have a bad saying about this in our squad. Whoever is 300 is bad, and whoever is 200 is even more so. So that's how it is. If I'm not mistaken, even in Avdiivka, when the enemy retreated and the snow was falling, they also moved on. Buggies and ATVs. Very convenient, maneuverable. Motorcycles, quads, the vehicle is dangerous, they burn. On this, there is at least a minimal chance to take cover from the Kamika drone, so to speak, opened up, thanks to its maneuverability.
Well, the mood of the guys from the 15th Combat Unit is, as always, combative. I've known them since 2014. And these are people who perfectly understand who they are fighting against. They know the 80th Brigade from Avdiivka, the 72nd Brigade from Chasiv Yar. That is to say, they won't show anything unexpected in this regard. The guys say that they destroyed all the elite infantry either in Avdiivka or in Chasiv Yar. Accordingly, this is already a composition that does not have such combat experience.
That's the 80th, the Senskin. Well, 82 hours, the 72nd was with us, against us in Avdiivka. So, it's enough. All old acquaintances. But they have new people. Those people stayed there as it was against us.
The quality of these people, the infantrymen, is it the same as before? Or is the quality declining, or is it improving?
Well, listen, at the beginning of the special military operation, there were people who had 8 years of war experience. Therefore, they are no longer there. Now, there are recruits coming in. So, to say that we are somehow wary of them, no. We couldn't care less about them. Even if they had 100 years of experience, we couldn't care less. Behind us is our country, our motherland. So no matter what he has or how much of it, this is not an indicator for us, because we live by the principle that you can practice karate, be the strongest in that sport, have Olympic medals. 9 grams solves the whole issue. That's important.
Of course, it doesn't mean that Nombre situation has changed. It's still a tough fight here. The enemy is already trying to entrench and dig in on some fronts, meaning they are stopping offensive actions and starting to go on the defensive on our territory. We'll still have to dig them out from here, but no one here doubts that this task will be completed, including by the forces of the Volunteer Corps.
Rako, well, shall we meet them and punish them?
What can you offer the enemy?
We have plenty to offer them. We have prepared many gifts for them, so let them come here, we will meet them. You know, as always, a Russian person will either greet with bread and salt, or be met with a sword, and here they will remain.